What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's discuss Smackdown from May the 3rd, 2024. Pretty decent show. Wasn't good, wasn't bad, it was just decent. So we kicked the show off with different clips of Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens entering into the arena. So first match of the night was an 8-woman tag. It featured Bayley, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton and Damage Control, with the baby faces getting the win. Bianca Belair, she hit the KOD on Dakota Kai. So this was fine. This was great. Fun little match. Nothing really mattered. Moving on. So Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they cut a promo. They insult the audience and says it smells like smoke because they know that that's what the Street Profits want. But after tonight, they'll show everyone that they are the smoke. So I do like this. SmackDown, the crowd, the French crowd was great. They were great. They were really into everything all night. Like, that was crazy. Like, they were into everything, literally. Moving on, Kayla Braxton, she was backstage with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill tells Kayla that they always are confident, and Bianca says she's sick of talking about Damage Control and she's ready to be done with them. Bayley and Naomi are seen next to them, and Bianca looks at Bayley and says she'll hopefully be done with Damage Control. And I'm like, what? Bianca, you know good and damn well Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are winning. That you guys are winning. Like, why the fuck would you say this shit? I have no idea. Moving on. So Carmelo Hayes, he's backstage with Nick Aldis. So Carmelo tells him last week he almost beat Cody Rhodes, and he declares himself for the King of the Ring tournament, which is great. The King of the Ring tournament is actually something that I'm interested in, and it kicks off Monday. It kicks off on Raw, so it should be fine. So Bobby Lashley, he comes in, they shake hands, they dap it up. So Bobby then congratulates Carmelo on being drafted to SmackDown. He tells Carmelo that if he needed any advice to call him, Carmelo says he should be good. He was the first draft pick last week. He almost beat Cody Rhodes, and he has it figured out. Lashley tells him it's not about the shots you take, but how much you land. So Carmelo then asks him, when was the last time he shot his shot? I was like, oh, okay, I'm digging it. So Bobby stops him and tells him he has free advice for him, and that is to watch out as to who he disrespects. So I like this. It's really good shit here. Setting up a program with Bobby Lashley and Carmelo could be fun, and I'm down for it. I'm really down for that shit. That could rule. That really could rule. I actually like that. Let's go. Let's go. Like, that shit would be lit. Like, I'm serious. Like, that would kick ass. Let's actually go in that direction. So I'm down for that shit. What I'm not down for is fucking the New Catch Republic and AOP. So thankfully, the Final Testament beat the shit out of New Catch Republic. AOP gets the win. Fuck New Catch Republic. That's all I gotta say. Moving on. Nick Aldis is backstage, and in comes Paul Heyman. Nick Aldis asks if he got his memo, and Paul Heyman asked if Nick Aldis got his memo, and Nick Aldis says he did, and the request was denied. So Paul Heyman asked, why would he remove... He asked... Nick Aldis asked Paul Heyman, why would he remove Kevin Owens and Randy Orton from their match tomorrow? And Heyman says it's for their sake. Paul Heyman says what happens to them is no longer on his conscience. What happens to Orton and Kevin Owens is on Nick's conscience. So Nick Aldis asked him If by that, is that by the order of the tribal chief? And Paul Heyman says that's not funny. It's not by him. And Nick Aldis asks if he's in charge. Paul Heyman says there's a difference between being in charge and in control, but he's not spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. So Nick Aldis is taken aback by this, just like me and everybody else. Nick Aldis says when Roman pulled himself out of the WWE draft, how did he do that if he didn't talk to him? Paul Heyman says he pulled Roman Reigns out of the WWE draft. Paul Heyman says he was the one that pulled Roman Reigns out of the draft. Paul Heyman tells Nick Aldis that he has to understand what's happening. He had no choice. He couldn't subject Roman Reigns to the chaos of what's going on in the bloodline. And Nick Aldis can't subject Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to the bloodline tomorrow. Nick Aldis says if Paul Heyman can pull Roman Reigns out of the draft, he should try pulling Randy Orton and Kevin Owens out of their match at Backlash. And he should try that next on the RKO show. So this was fine. I actually dig this shit. I'm down for it because it shows that Paul Heyman is losing control. Like, he's not really in the loop of what's going on. Like, he really has to make these rash and quick decisions. And that's crazy that him and Roman have not spoken since Mania. Damn, that's a whole month. So damn. So that actually does make sense. Moving on. So we get the RKO show. Ugh. So Randy and Kevin Owens, they receive big pops. Randy, he put up with the French fans. Kevin Owens basically speaks in French. Kevin Owens said that he knows that Randy had some concerns about their guests, but he started to get a lot of calls from a number he didn't want to answer. He says on Wednesday at 4 a.m. he answered, and it was, and that was when Paul Heyman was asked to be the guest on their show. So, Kevin Owens says that Paul Heyman has something very important he has to tell them. So then Orton says they should go ahead and introduce Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman comes out. He says that he's WWE's undisputed wise man. Paul Heyman says tonight he comes out with respect, admiration, and wisdom. So Kevin Owens tells Randy Orton he can't discard him right away. Orton then responds by saying he's more of like an out of nowhere kind of guy. So the fans chant RKO, which was great. Paul Heyman says he understands why they would doubt him. The fans chant, "We want Roman." And Paul Heyman says he wants Roman as well. So Paul Heyman continues on by saying that he has great respect for both of them. When I stepped into the ring with Roman, it was competition when there was a title on the line. But with the rules of Solo and Tama Tonga are different. He tells them to do a favor and back out of the match. So Randy Orton says Paul Heyman's the biggest piece of trash in the industry. And then Kevin Owens says he can't give them any advice considering everything around him is falling apart. Then out of nowhere, Randy Orton asks Paul Heyman who's the true tribal chief. And he knows that he put Paul Heyman in a bad decision. Paul Heyman says the whole world knows that there's only one tribal chief. Then out of nowhere, Solo, Sikoa, and Tama Tonga, they attack Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. All hell basically breaks loose. There's like a massive brawl that takes place. So basically, the babyfaces, they stand tall in this situation. Okay, cool, I guess. Again, fuck Kevin Owens. I am interested in seeing how this match is going to play out. I do think that we do see Jacob Fatu appear. I really do. I do. Moving on. So, the Street Profits, they're backstage. They talk about how they're going to become the new tag team champions. Not really all that important. Then this leads us into LA Knight versus Angel Garza. LA Knight gets the win via BFT, blunt force trauma. So he gets on the mic post-match and says, all around the world, it's the same song. Another Smackdown, another dummy dunked on his head. If he wanted to be cliche, excuse me, my bad. If he wanted to be cliche, he would say, this is his ring. But he won't say it. He'll make it his ring. And then he's going to enter into the King of the Ring tournament, which is great. This is great. I love it. So Santos Escobar, he comes on the mic, and he gets involved in the ring. He gets on the mic. Fans chant, you suck. LA Knight keeps talking. He says that LA Knight just keeps talking. But at King of the Ring, while LA Knight will be busy running his mouth, Santos Escobar will be winning. LA Knight asks the fans if he should keep talking. The fans say, yeah. LA Knight tells Santos Escobar he will hear everybody saying LA Knight, yeah, and then he throws the mic at Escobar and dips out. So this is great. I'm digging King of the Ring. I'm actually liking it. Moving on. So Carlito is backstage with Byron Saxton. So Carlito says that he's been away from WWE for many years, and all he wanted was another WrestleMania moment with his family, the LWO. When Ray challenged Santos Escobar and Dominic at WrestleMania, he thought Ray would pick him, but instead he picked Dragon Lee. And that wasn't cool. Carlito says he took it into his own hands. So Dragon Lee attacks Carlito. They have a little mini brawl for a second. And then referees and then Ray pull the guys apart. So this is fun. They're going to continue their feud on Monday Night Raw. All right, cool. Main event of the evening, wrestling-wise. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they defeated the Street Profits. So that's fine. That's pretty cool. Moving on, the final segment of the evening. That was Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. So Cody comes out to a massive ovation. He gets on the mic. He says, what do you want to talk about in French? AJ says, AJ says it's as if Cody isn't focused on him. He's focused on the fans. Cody says he grew up watching him. AJ then cuts him off. He says, don't do that. He doesn't need that. He may be older than Cody, but he's still in his prime, which is actually kind of true. AJ is in his 40s. Cody is in his 30s. So yeah, like why wouldn't he? he's giving us props. I mean, AJ's still good. AJ can still go. So AJ says Cody had laid out the path for him because he wanted everyone to know the son of the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, including WWE. He says they welcomed him with open arms. AJ tells Cody that Cody loved it there until things got rough and he couldn't handle it, and he left. His decision, that one AJ never got to make because he was kept out of WWE for years. So he's mentioning his TNA arc. But when he got here, he was not welcomed with open arms like Cody. He had to prove himself all by himself. No, AJ, didn't you have the Bullet Club with you? Didn't you have those goofs, Gallows and Anderson, with you? So you didn't do stuff by yourself. AJ tells Cody that Cody had legends watching his back at WrestleMania, and for him to finish his story. A bunch of guys he's beaten before. He beat all of them the same way he's going to beat AJ. The same way he's going to beat Cody at Backlash. AJ says he'll find his way to the top again and remain and remind everyone that he's phenomenal. So Cody gets on the mic and says AJ's reputation is unmatched. Cody says he endured a lot of mistakes to stand there as WWE champion, and his first title match is against AJ Styles. He says AJ is and forever will be phenomenal, but tomorrow he won't be looking at him as phenomenal. He'll be looking at him at his first, and that's too sweet. So then AJ raises his fingers for the too sweet, and Cody's about to do it. AJ slaps him, and then he dips out, which was funny. I like this. This was great. So we immediately cut backstage, and we have a brawl between Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa, and Tama Tonga. They're all fighting backstage. So this is great. So SmackDown was okay. It was all right. Cody and AJ should have at least 2 matches. So we should get Cody winning at Backlash, and then again at King of the Ring. So maybe Cody's going to go to Saudi. So, like, why wouldn't he? But SmackDown, like I said, was okay. It was good. You know, the crowd was into it all night. And that's one thing that I love about international crowds. They are super into it all the time. They're super into everything. The low mid-card stuff, the main event stuff, everything. They're into everything. And that's one thing that I do appreciate about WWE going to international crowds. Is the simple fact is they're always forever loving everything that WWE does internationally. It's great because when has France ever gotten a wrestling event? Like, when's the last time they've got one? It's probably been some years. But these international shows that WWE have done in the past have been phenomenal. They've been great. So, Backlash should be interesting. SmackDown was okay. Like I said before, it was okay. Just a run-of-the-mill type of SmackDown. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.